Hey guys, welcome back. So in the last video, we talked about how can we insert a value in an array and how to traverse a given array. Hope the idea was clear. Now in this video, we are going to talk about how do we access a given cell in an array, how do we search for a value from an array, and finally, how do we delete a value from a given array. So let's get started. Now the first topic of this video is accessing given cell of an array. Now what do we mean when we say accessing given cell? It means that to read the value of a given cell number. Let's say if you want to read what is the value in this cell, the answer is 10. If you want to read what is the value in this cell, the answer is 20. Similarly 30 over here and so on. So the idea, as you can see, is extremely simple. So without wasting much of a time, let's see the algorithm of this. So the algorithm is extremely simple. The method name is accessing cell. It takes as argument array name and the cell number which needs to be read. Now before reading the cell, we do a check over here that if the cell number is greater than the size of the array, then of course we cannot read that cell because that cell number is not there in the array. Hence we have to return an exception saying that the cell number cannot be bigger than the size of the array. Now let's take an example of the above array. Here we can see that this array has got 7 cells in it. Now let's say if we want to read cell number 10, then we have a problem. And the problem is that there is no cell which is number 10 because the max number of cell is up to 7. Hence in this kind of a cases, this validation will kick in. It will throw us an exception saying that the cell number provided is not correct. Now in case if we give the correct cell number, let's say we give cell number as 1. In that case this algorithm should return the value of this cell number over here. So for that we are saying else return ARR, which is array name, the cell number. So if the cell number is 1, it returns value 20. If the cell number is 2, it returns value 30. Please remember that the cell number of an array starts from 0 and not 1. Hence when we say cell number 1, it returns 20 and not 10. So to return 10, we have to say cell number 0. So the algorithm is extremely simple. Hope you would have understood. Now let's see what is the time complexity of this algorithm. So as we can see that we have 4 steps in this method. So comparing the cell number with the size of the array, it is a constant time operation. Hence it will take order of 1 time. Now if it turns out true, in that case we return an exception. So returning an exception is once again a constant time operation. Else statement is a constant time operation, and finally returning a cell's value from an array is also a constant time operation. And the reason is we need not traverse the entire array. We just have to go to the specified cell number and return its value. Hence it is order 1 operation. Now if we add all of these 4, we get order of 1. Hence, we can say that the total time complexity of this method is order of 1. Now coming to the space complexity, even that is order of 1, and the reason is we need not use any space which is proportional to the size of the array. We might use any temporary space or a variable, and that will hit us by a constant space complexity, which is order 1 in this case. Now till now we have seen that in most of the cases our space complexity has always been order of 1. It has never been anything apart from that. So please don't assume that it will always be order 1. As we progress with the course, we will see lot of examples where the space complexity is either order of n or n square or even more than that. So please hang on, we'll see those examples as well. Okay. So now that we have completed the first method, let's move on to the next method. So the next method is searching a given value in 1D array. Now what does that mean? What that means is we have been given a value, let's say 40, and we want to see if this value is already there in this array or not. So in this case we see that it is at cell number 3. Similarly, let's say we want to find out if 70 is there in this array or not. So we see that the 70 value is not in this array. So in that case we return an error saying that the value does not exist in this array. So the idea is extremely simple. Now let's see the algorithm of it. So we have a method called search in an array. It takes array as a first argument and the value to be searched as second argument. And then it loops from the first cell goes till the last cell of this array. If it finds out that the value of that particular cell is equal to the value that we are looking for, then it returns the cell number, else it returns an error saying that value is not found. Now let's quickly do a dry run of this algorithm. So let's say we want to find number 40. So what is the first step? System will go to cell number 0 and see if it is equal to 40, which in this case is not, it is 10. So it will go to the next cell. Is it equal to 40? No. Then it goes to next cell. Is it equal to 40? No. Is this equal to 40? Yes. Then it returns I. What is I here? I is 3. That is the cell number. Remember, cell number starts from 0, 1 and 2. Now let's take one more example where we are searching for a value which does not exist in this array. So let's say we want to find number 70. So what this loop does is it starts from 0. So it goes to 0 cell. Is it equal to 70? No. Is this equal to 70? No. Is this equal to 70? No. Equal to 70? No. Equal to 70? No. Is this equal to 70? No. This is blank. Is this equal to 70? No. Now that we have come to the last cell of this array, hence this loop will terminate here and the control goes to the return statement. And what do we return? We return an error saying that the value does not exist in this array. So as you can see that the algorithm is extremely simple. Now let's see what is the complexity in terms of time and space. So when the control goes into this method, it initiates a loop which starts from 0 and ends at the length of the array. And what is the length of the array? It is n. Hence, we see that every time the loop has to run from 0 to n. Hence, the time complexity is order of n. Now you might ask that if we are looking for a value and the value is the first cell in the array itself, in that case the loop need not run till the end of the array. It can stop at the first cell itself. In that case, should not this be order of 1? Yes, that is a very valid question, but please remember that we are calculating this time complexity in terms of big O. If we would have been calculating this complexity in terms of omega, then omega of 1 is a valid statement. But since we are talking here in terms of big O, hence we have to write it as order of n. Now in case you don't understand what we mean by big O and omega and theta, please refer to algorithm runtime analysis chapter. We have talked about all these topics in extreme details there. So the loop will take order of n time. A comparison will take order of 1 time. Similarly, returning the cell number is a constant time operation. And in the worst case, we have to return an error message. Even that is a constant time operation. So we sum up all this and we get order of n time. Now space complexity is once again order of 1 time, because we might use a temporary variable here and there, but again that is not in proportion to the size of the array, which is n. So I hope that you would have understood what is a search operation of an array, how it is performed, and what is the time complexity of it. Now let's go to the last topic of this video, which is deletion of a value from an array. Okay, so the next topic is deletion of a value from 1D array. Now this is little interesting, and the reason is that practically speaking we can never delete any value from an integer array. The reason is this cannot be blank. There has to be some value in it. By default, compiler inserts a 0 value here, but you can always give a other default value, let's say -1 or whatever, and then depending on our requirement we have put other values like 30, 40 and 50 in these cases. Now depending on your comfort level, you can assume any value to be a blank value. It can be 0, -1 or any very big positive or negative number. In this case we have assumed integer.minimum value as a blank value. By the way, if you want to know what is the value of this is 2 to the power 31, of course a minus in front of it. So let's say if I want to delete 40, I will say insert -2 to the power 31 over here. So these two blank cells that you see over here, these are actually not blank. If we read the value in this cell, I have initialized it with integer.min value, that is -2 to the power 31, -2 to the power 31. Okay, so now that we have understood what is the meaning of deleting a value, let's see the algorithm. So the algorithm, as we can see here, is extremely simple. The name of the method is deleting value from array. It takes argument as array and the location or the cell number from which data needs to be deleted. Now the condition is if the location in that array is already occupied, then we update that location with integer.minimum value, which we already said is value 2 to the power 31 with a minus. Else we return. Why return? Because the location is already blank, or you can say default value is already there. Okay, so now let's do a quick dry run of this algorithm. Let's say we want to delete the value in cell number 2, which is this cell. Now the control goes to if statement. It says if array location, which is the second cell, is already occupied. Yes, it is already occupied. Then array location is equal to integer.min value. Then update this cell with integer.min value, that is -2 to the power 31. So this gets updated and the new value comes is 2 to the power 31 with a minus. Now let's say we want to delete cell number 6. So the control goes to the if statement. If array 6 is occupied, so 6 is, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If 6 is occupied, is it occupied? No, it is not occupied because it is having default value, which is -2 to the power 31. In that case, we simply return saying that location is already blank, nothing to update. Now you can always ask me that what happens if we give location, let's say as -1 or more than the size of the array. Those kind of an invalid location if we give, then what happens? So that is a valid question, and ideally when we are coding this algorithm we should always do all those checks, else our program will not be stable. But to make this algorithm easy, I have not considered all those checks. But when we are coding, of course we are going to do all those checks in our code. Fine, so we have seen how the algorithm of deleting a value works. Now let's see what is the time complexity of it. So the time complexity, as you can see, is extremely simple. All that it does is it goes to an if statement, does a comparison. If it is already occupied value, then we update the location's value, else we return saying that location is already blank. So all these operations are constant time operations and can be done in order of 1 time. When we add all these 4 order 1, we get order of 1. Similarly, space complexity will be order of 1, and the reason is that we are using some temporary variables, but again that is not in proportion to the size of the array. So in this video we have learned 3 things, that is how to access a value from a given cell. Number 2 was how to search for a given value in an array, and the third thing was how to delete a value from a given cell. With this we end this video. In the next video we are going to recap all the time complexities and space complexities of this 6 standard operations that we have seen, and we'll also see how does the Java code of all this algorithm looks like. Thanks for your time. See you in the next video.